your chance to know. Let me show you why. Let me show you why. Let me show you why. Let me show you why.
Black women are not lying when they are talking about this kind of shit.
Grand Rising, my brother.
Grand Rising. Grand Rising. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to the Humblest Opinion, episode 7. Today is Monday, March 8th, 2021. Today is International Women's Month and International Women's Day. Today, we took this opportunity to pay homage to our ancestors, our female queens and ancestors that, or female queens, or queens or ancestors that came in female form, that have pushed the struggle and built and did things to affect us in a positive way. We, myself, Tony Bahama, and Brother Malik Adagamba, bringing you some historical reference on this International Women's Day. Before we get into it, we want to, of course, give our disclaimer, and then we turn it to Brother Gamba, who's going to give us some facts on our reasons and rationale for our selection of who and how we want to phrase who we would feel deserves recognition on this International Women's Day. First and foremost, the Humblest Opinion is Humblest Opinion is brought to you by AB2C Broadcasting, BCARB TV, and Professional Renaissance Protection Services. We, the owners and talent of the views and opinion expressed here are solely that of the ownership, management, and talent, and are brought to you via an Atlas clause of a pay-per-view service platform. Your listening and viewing is agreement, which makes you complicit in this broadcast and removes all liability 100% from our platform and from all individuals on it. Just so you know, our AB2C Broadcasting is a news and radio station, broadcasting station for you. So, Brother Gamba, International Women's Day. Tell us about some of the or our reasoning for selecting or criteria of who we would feel are some of the women we decided to honor.
Well, first and foremost, being a Pan-Africanist, being a Black nationalist, it's about educating our people as to where we came from, who did what and why. And as it relates to being revered, one should be revered, should only be revered if what it is that you do was for our advancement or in an attempt to advance us as a people. A lot of people have been miseducated and indoctrinated over the years to believe that we are separated, we are divided by continents, that we are divided by nationalities, when we are all of one descent. All right? So it does not matter where it is that you are living. You could be a diaspora in America, the Caribbean, it doesn't matter. Okay? We are all right, melanated. So as long as you are a melanated individual, and as you said before, if you have a drop of it, because that's how they categorize us, right? If you have one drop, okay, and you have assisted in moving or attempted in assisting, even if that plan failed, okay, attempted in assisting in moving us forward, then you should be recognized for your efforts. That's male or female. But because we are, we're celebrating National Women's Day, All right, for us, we need to understand that we can't focus on and should not be focusing on other people. We need to stop being so inclusive, because that is why we are where we are today. Because instead of focusing on us, strengthening us, building us, we have always taken the time to pay attention to others, all right, to our detriment. All right. So today, the women that were chosen would have been great queens, all right,
Yeah.
great African queens over the course of history that have been known to do so much for their people, strong, melanated women that all of our queens should strive to be. And that's another thing too that people got to understand, because to be a queen doesn't necessarily mean that you rule a nation. Okay, you know,
Yeah.
now these people were labeled as that because that was their titles. But the fact of the matter is, your mindset, your actions, that determines
Right.
whether you wear a crown or not. You have a lot of females out there calling themselves queens, but they don't act like queens. All right.
Yeah.
So we need to change that. We need to change that mindset as well, because they represent us as a people. All right. And if you feel that that's the way you're supposed to be, but you are actually disrespecting what it is supposed to be, then I have a problem with that. Okay. I have a problem with that.
Yeah. 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 We've had come to the point where we have trap queens.
Yes. Yes.
Which,
You understand what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come
Come
on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Okay, we have it to the point where different genders want to call themselves queens. Okay,
Oh,
this been
man.
going on for however long, but the bottom line is we need to understand what a queen is. Man. We need to understand what
Where
a
the whole
queen is.
term, where the whole term even came from. Yes, the language or the word queen, language started in Africa.
Yes.
Writing in Africa. Let me put this in some historical context numerically. We're in the year, supposedly, of 2021. However, based on carbon dating, based on the history and the science of it, we can debate what we want to debate, but the science says that the remnants of the earth, the artifacts of bone and structure, the oldest one was born or created or founded in Africa. We said we touched on this last time, but Zinzanthropus, a woman, or Lucy, was found in Africa. Go look it up. Go and see. So the first queen was in Africa. This is not my guessing. This is not my writing. This is the science. Mary Leakey, a white woman, found this information out and tried to hold on to it for a whole month.
Yeah.
She didn't want to put that out there.
No.
She was defamed. They tried to break down what she was saying. No, it can't be. It's not possible that the oldest one. So she ran a series of tests for an extra month just to make sure. And it was right. 200,000 years. The dating of this woman in Africa. So the first woman that, as far as we know, as far as anybody knows, was a black woman in Africa. So that's our first queen. That's one. The next historical precedent. Cleopatra. We want to talk about Cleopatra. Everybody loves Cleopatra. We have some others that we're going to mention. But Cleopatra, our first one, was in a line of rulership, was in a legacy. The genealogy of Cleopatra, which she was 26, the 26th female ruler in a line of almost 3,000 rulers in Egypt. So she's number 26. That means, historically, all living about, say, 30, 40, 50 years. That means that before human civilization was even set up in Rome or anywhere else, we're farther away numerically from where Cleopatra was, maybe about 7,000 years away from 2000, from zero, before the advent of what is zero when they came up with that in the calendar. That's how far back we've had queens ruling and being a part of our leadership.
What
So
what a lot of people, yeah, what a lot of people don't understand is that we've been miseducated for centuries by design. It's not a mistake, it's by design. Because they know that if things were running the way that they used to run, there's no way that they would be able to have the control that they have over people. This is the reason why, with most religions that you have, they have the woman being the weaker and the lesser vessel. All right, someone who's not supposed to speak, whose opinions we're not supposed to listen to, because they already know that these people, our women, have led the charge for a lot of things. Okay, we have female warriors who've been just as great as our male warriors. You understand? Okay, you know, the passion and the skill set that they have brought forth is just something that is unrivaled by any other ethnic race that they've created, as again, as we said. And at some point we'll have a show to explain how race was created. All right. But
we will.
At the end of the day, these things that they've seen happen in the past, and this is why we tell people history is so important. Knowing yourself is so important, because these people know what they've done. They know how they got there, and they're not trying to allow it to happen again. So that is the reason why when they rewrite history, okay, his story, they don't tell our story, because they know that if we knew our story, all right, then they would be in problems. All right, so here we have one of the warrior queens who was known as a warrior princess. And see, this is another thing too. Our story is always being whitewashed. So you had a whole series called Xena Warrior Princess, based in where?
Oh man.
Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Right. You spoke about Cleopatra, whitewashed. All right. How many temples? Right. How many temples and pyramids are these people in, whitewashing the history of it, changing the skin tone and complexion of what they've made there to try to make it seem as if it was them.
Oh man, yes. They found innumerable pyramids. They haven't even gotten to all of them.
Exactly. Okay. You know, so we have Queen Amina. Well, her name is Queen Amina too, but most people call her Queen Amina for short. All right.
Yeah.
You know, she was a daughter of a great warrior. All right. Bakwa, Turunku. And she's well known as a warrior princess. Well known. All right. She inherited the assertiveness and precise nature of her mother, and she because her mother helped to build the capital, Azazua. All right. The city was one of the 7 original states of Horsaland in the 16th century. All right. And as a member of the royal family, she chose to hone her military skills because she had that right. You see all of the fighting that females had to do to have the right to choose to do what they wanted to do. Those things were happening long ago, man. They were always allowed.
Right.
Always allowed. All right.
Yeah.
You know, and her career as a warrior, you know, spanned and well documented for like over 3 decades, bro. Okay, so for over 30 years, she was marching it up. Okay, beating them down. Come on, man. Come on. Gotta have respect for that.
Well, we have to. Much respect for that. Much respect. We have to. The next one we're going to talk about is Nzinga Mabandi. It was queen of the Abundu kingdoms in Ndongo, now modern day Angola. Her effect is still felt even in just the town. The capital of Angola, which is Luanda, was her hometown and capital, her place. She fought colonialism unequivocally. you know, the whole, and this is a whole other show, but the premise of people's coming to your lands under the convert or be killed mantra was eased a bit, if you want to say that, in her time. So they didn't come, oh, we're going to fight you, we're going to kill you, we want your land. No, they came nice. They said, please, we have this beautiful white Jesus. Please come and accept this. Here's the book, which was all lies, which was all, you know, it had no basis in fact. They offered it. She said, no, we will never accept this. This is not us. You know, the whole, like you said, the whitewashing of what people tried to tell us or tried to tell them, she refused to accept. Matter of fact, she stated to the people in her region that no soldier, you couldn't hold an office. You couldn't hold anything that you were facing if you were a believer of this pagan religion from the Western that they were giving. Everybody talks about the saying that people bring, they gave us the Bible and took our land. She said, look, keep your Bible. We don't want anything from you. Now she didn't even want to trade with them, right? And rightfully so. She was the daughter of a king. And her father, you know, she, for what we can see, she took the principles of leadership and training from her father, more so than her brother or anybody else in the family. So, with that said, we have to give homage and pay homage to her. She fought incursion. She crafted relationships with other neighboring countries and cities and states just to beat back the Portuguese. And in her lifetime, she never seen any colonialism or enslavement in her region. Big ups, big respect, much respect. One of my personal favorites to Queen Nzinga.
Yeah, man, much respect. Now we speak of another famous queen that has been in movies and they've written many stories of, Queen of Sheba, Makeda.
Oh man, yep.
All right, you know
the real Queen of Sheba.
yes, the real Queen of Sheba, because you know, back in the day they would have royal epics, and these were the writers who would transcribe and transpose information about great people, which is so funny, because here it is now. We look to history when we're speaking about certain characters. If you are that great and that important, trust me, people would have been writing about you. So if you don't have many documentations about you and your life, and we're not talking about a book that someone created, we're talking about the people who were paid to and mandated to keep accurate records of these things. If these things are not coming up, then whatever you're listening to or believing is fictional. Anyway, so
on that same point, not to belabor that point, but we have to talk on that just for a second. Let's touch on that.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me, let's put it in context. The first black woman, the oldest person ever discovered, which was discovered by a team of white scientists, stating that over 200,000 years of life by black people, since that time to this day, allegedly, it might be even more, and not one story of black excellence is going to come up.
The thing about it is this, you know,
entire curriculum.
Here, and see, and this is the thing. So that just clearly goes to show you that these people have been hiding information. We are well aware that the Vatican holds many scripts, many scrolls, of history that they are not releasing. We also know that when certain things are found and discovered, they are quickly quelled. All right, those people disappear, or they get a position, you know, where they're being paid well, so that they're not making any noises, or their character is assassinated, is defamed, to make sure that anyone who listens to them is considered to be crazy. All right. So these are the things that are taking place. But that information is there. It's not as if it isn't there. It's well documented. But the fact of the matter is they refuse to put it forth because to the victor goes the what? The spoils. Right? So they're the ones who end up telling the stories. They tell the stories. Those stories are not true. They're one side, they're one side of something that's going to happen. If somebody is in a fight, right? If you didn't have the video of them being beaten to a pulp until they happen to get where there's a lucky punch or a well targeted one, right? That they had to think it through because they would have been getting crushed before that, right? You
Right.
wouldn't. They would say to you, "Oh yeah, man, I take him out, man. He wasn't no threat." But when you watch the video, you get to see exactly what happened. Okay,
Right.
so they don't allow the world to get the information. They don't allow the world to get the video. That's what they do. They don't allow the world to get, not unless they have to. Not unless they have to. All right. So
Yeah.
she was somebody who was considered a queen of incredible strength. All right. She survived the battle with the Serpent King, and after this, she became the queen of Aksum. Now, the thing about it is this: we have biblical stories, right? And the names of these people have been changed. Okay, so so that you can't really delve into the true information of the story. So the king that they call King Solomon is who she ended up marrying and having a child with, Menoneth. All right, right. So he became the first imperial ruler of Ethiopia. All right, and he was also the
Yeah.
first of the line of Aksumite kings. All right. So um they have many stories about her. Some believable, some not so believable, simply because of the fact that they made sure to marry it with religion for their own specific reasons. But what we do know is that she was there, she was a great queen, she was a great warrior, she had incredible strength, and she did great things. All right.
Yeah.
So we have to give mad respect to her.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. So I would interject on the next one, but I know one of your specialties, one of your great researches is Queen Nefertiti. If you want to
Yes,
continue with
Queen
that one as well.
Nefertiti. All right, Queen Nefertiti was a prominent queen from ancient Egypt. All right, her name means a beautiful woman has come. That's how gorgeous they saw her. All right, and she left a legacy of strength, beauty, and power. Now you know that this woman has also been whitewashed over the course of the centuries. All
Oh my
right.
goodness.
Now they don't have the exact location of her birth. So she was either born in the town of Akhmim or in a country located in modern day Syria. Historians believe that she married Akhenaten, who ruled Egypt from 1353 to 1336. They had
Yeah.
6 children. Okay, they had 6 children, including the famous,
Oh,
right?
King Tut.
Or King Tut for those who, yes, because it's rare that people call the full names of these people, right? Or King
Yeah.
Tut. All right. So this would have been the mother of King Tut. That alone, okay, puts her into the halls of greatness. Okay, because she birthed and helped to train this great man. All right.
Yeah.
They were now they were responsible for what people call a cult. All right, establishing the cult of Aten. All right. Um, this is one of the religions um, that has the sun god, because the names of these people change. So Aten, we'll be talking about Amun Ra. All right, which placed the sun god as the essential figure of worship. Okay, because the sun is the giver of and the uh, controller of our life. Without the sun, there is nothing. All right.
Yeah.
Now, many people don't understand um, the concept and the mindset behind these things, not realizing that was more about astrology and astronomy rather than worshiping, just plants and animals, but it's recognizing the power that comes from something. All right. Now, her image was in the tombs of a husband. Okay, and it shows her as it portrays her as a woman of authority and power. And of course, she is somebody who is well known. Okay, many people know of the name Nefertiti. All right, and her her bust has become a global icon of feminine beauty and power.
Yeah.
All right, so she was one of the uh one of considered one of the more beautiful of our people. All right, but she was a great queen nonetheless. And as I said, having all those children and bringing forth a great king from that, because a lot of people don't understand. I mean, the women are the nurturers. They are the teachers and the trainers. Okay, because the men were out there going to war or providing food for the family. All right. So
Yeah.
yes, under the agreement and the instruction of the mate of the man, okay, the children were brought up a certain way, but it was the woman who's responsible for making sure that education and information was instilled in them.
Right. Right.
And that's another reason why you hear behind every great man is a great woman. So whether that's your mother or
Right.
your wife, it's the same thing.
Yeah. On that same note, on that same point, um, people have seen in the movie, um, I guess, the 300, which is an embellishment on
Yeah.
Egyptian and African warrior culture classes.
Yes. Yes.
Just numerically. Let's just numerically.
Yeah.
Just look at the numbers.
Yeah.
Let's look at the white scientists and the genealogical numbers. This culture, African, Aksum, what is now modern day Kenya, Tunisia, those places in Africa, Egypt, so on and so forth, had warrior classes. Egypt and even in Africa, the Akan people, even in the south, the Zulu nation, and so on and so forth, their culture were warrior class culture. It's pretty much where they put the young men out to fend for themselves and learn to survive for this long period of time. And when they came back, they were reviled and revered. The mothers in the 300, one of the scenes was like when they tried to insult one of the individual's wives. The woman said, "Look, we cannot have true kings unless we have true queens. And only true queens can raise true kings."
Right.
Now come on. Did it start there, logically? Or did it probably start in Africa? Civilizations that outlasted and still outlast these other cultures in Europe.
What we must understand, and that's why I mentioned the whole whitewashing. Everything has been whitewashed, right? The fighting skills and the training, right? The fighting skills and the training would not have been coming from these people. It would have been coming from the Zulu nation. All right. These were some of the most feared warriors in the history of the African continent.
Yeah.
All right. Their training and their skill set. All right, because most people would have heard or know about Shaka Zulu.
Yeah.
All right, and he was a feared warrior. All right, because of the training and skill set that came from them. All right, and on Shaka Zulu, we got to talk about Queen Nandi, who was his mother.
Correct.
All right, you understand me? So, at the end of the day, she would have been the person who pushed him to be who he became, on the point that you made about true queens raise true kings.
Yeah, only true queens can raise true queens. One of the individuals speaking of this is Queen. We say Queen, but her name was Nani, or Queen Nani of the Maroons. Many in our African diaspora or in Jamaica, just to put a gene in historically and geographically in precedent.
Yeah.
In one of the parishes, what is now Portland, what is the eastern part of Jamaica. The Maroons, which were people and descendants, Queen Nanny was not born a slave. She was born in Ghana to royalty.
Yes.
And her people were taken and scattered, and she was sent to Jamaica, what is modern day or present day at the time, Jamaica. And there were a group of people, don't believe the garbage where, this old docility and just accepting slavery. And no, there were people there were Ghanaian people that walked back into the ocean as opposed to living a day, a moment, a minute as a slave. They fought and ravaged the countryside of any plantation, any individual that they saw that was holding slaves or were other slaves. They offered no shelter, no quarter. If you wanted to be a slave, they would kill you. They would fight you. This is not ever going to be our legacy. This is not what we believe. This is what their premise and thought process was. And they acted on this. So the whole docility and relax, they had to come up with something such as that white Bible. They had to come up with the white Jesus to kind of quell this. They had to come up with the thoughts and the scientific beliefs of mental enslavement, such as the Willie Lynchletter and his progenitions and his actions. Because these Ghanaian Akan people, and they seeded that into other people. Now, Queen Nanny in Jamaica was a spiritualist, was a leader, and a maroon. A maroon being the people that, look, we came into slavery, we're here now, we don't know our way back, but we're going to hold out throughout slavery. We're not going to be slaves. We live off the land, we engage in guerrilla warfare and society and so on and so forth. We build our own thing, but we will not be slaves. We will not. And the Maroons group, under her leadership, the Queen Nanny, if you look at the $500 bill in Jamaica now, Queen Nanny is on the bill. She's on the money. Yeah. She's a national treasure and an international treasure. Definitely.
Because her efforts helped the Maroons to become established, because you know that they were granted. There was a treaty between them and the British. They were granted their freedom, and they were granted their own. Okay, so to be a Maroon, you're basically a nation within a nation. Okay, so it's the same as the Chinese embassy, American embassy, whatever. Okay, this is our place. All right, and there's a treaty that was between them and colonels, captains, but all those things started, like you said, with
Queen Nanny. And they fought so ravenously. They did not give up. They did not subside. Look, the British just say, you know what? Fine. We're never going to win this war. We just leave you guys. We just going to allow it. And trust me, all the great movies, all the great documentaries, the great books of warriorship and fighting and all of those things, come from this same principle. We're not going to give up. We're not surrendering. All of this. Yeah. The greatest in the Western world, other than save Haiti, the greatest story, and actually predecessor to Haiti, was this Queen Nanny. We are not giving up. We owe no surrender, no defeat. That's Queen Nanny. That's a woman. A woman brought that to the forefront to us.
Well, I would also have to put the Queen of Ashanti, the Queen of the Ashanti Empire in Ghana, on that exact same level. Okay.
Yes.
Yaa Asantewaa. And why? Because I, in my humblest opinion, believe that the story of 300 was based on her efforts.
Yes.
Because of the fact of how the story went. Now, it did not turn out, okay, in the movie, they did not run it the way it ended. It ended with her. But the fact of the matter was, they actually the British had actually exiled her grandson, right? And so she was trying to find a way to get him to come back through. Now, at the end of the day, because of the fact that there was no way um, to get them to agree to um, change their decision, it came about to a war. Because on top of it, the British also was demanding the golden stool, which was a symbol of the Ashanti Empire, right? Their
Yes,
holiness and
disrespectful.
strength, right? And it
My
was
brother,
considered
my
divine
brother, my
authority.
brother, my brother, we have to talk about that. We will have a show on that. Of these same things, they want the crown jewels. They're from Africa. The
Yes,
all of these different things. We're gonna have a show on this, but just after the jet, unless you can give me a point. But we're gonna have a talk about this. Our
yes, we're gonna,
artifacts, our
yeah,
spiritual and physical remnants of history.
but
No wonder you
that
can't see them.
they're still digging up
Right.
to this day.
Are not in our possession. Our reminders we don't have access to our greatness. No wonder we're asleep. But anyway.
Anyhow, well, yes. So I'm just saying that at the end of the day, she had to end up dissing the men to say, listen, man, y'all can't be cowards. You understand me? Y'all
Yeah.
can't be cowards,
Yeah.
man. Y'all gotta man up. Y'all have to man up. Okay? And let's do this. And they did that and they won. You understand? They won.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now the thing about it is she was ended up she did end up later on though being captured along with her advisors, and they also sent her into exile. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
But but at the end of the day, that started a long battle, a long won battle. Okay. You know.
Yeah.
Um. So we have to give and show respect to the females who, throughout history, have proven themselves to be great warriors and tacticians. Have to.
Right.
Okay, because as I said before, you have religion, okay, and through miseducation, they're being looked at as weak physically and emotionally. All right, but there are thousands of instances through history, all right, where they've been capable of ruling, showed power, strength, and possessing and demonstrating war and political skills just as good as the men. All right.
Right. Definitely so. Some cases even better.
Yes.
If it's like we have the old adage: if a woman want to get you, or the hell have no fury as a woman scorned. Yes, you are coming to a woman to enslave her son, her daughter, her grandson, her children, and you think she's gonna take this? You think she's gonna stand there and allow this? No, no. These were the premises of our black queens. We look at the image or the embellishment of the ex-Hossa women or the
Yeah.
Amazon women. Those images, the truthful indemnation of those individuals are black women. Are black
Yes.
women.
Yes.
It's all been lied. It's all been twisted. It's all been perverted.
Yes.
In the Black Panther,
Yes.
the queens who were warrior queens who stand by his sides, the people of great lineage. Think about this. Think about this. All of our great leaders, male or female, had a warrior army of women, of black women.
Yeah.
And that
Yes.
mentality, they taught that to their children, and they seeded and built and created the next level of warrior classes, of people that
Agreed.
fought against inequity. A man might have to think about his children. A woman, the progenitor and the creator of those, of bringing life to this earth, she could see, look, there is no life without freedom. There is nothing that we would stand by and accept for this other than freedom. You know, she felt the pain of bringing them here. Now you're going to enslave them? No. No, no, no. And we respect the utmost respect to these individuals. We coming upon our time here, we don't want to go over, but forgive us if there's anybody else that we forgot. And it's too much. It is definitely too much for us to name.
We will be having other shows because this is only the
multiple.
cast. You have some that were later in, and we have queens who are today, all right, who we can speak to and show representation of that.
Yeah.
True queens,
Yes.
all right, who don't have
Yes.
no army supporting them, their own
Right.
armies. You
Right.
understand me? Okay.
Right. Right.
So we would definitely have to speak to them as well. There's no way to highlight everybody. It's just impossible. All right.
It's just too
But we just
much. Yes, it's too
right,
much.
but we just want to make certain that people understand and know where we came from and what we do have. And the queens who are here now need to realize
Right.
and know who they are. Make
Wake up.
themselves known.
Wake up. Yes. Wake up. Wake up. Let's take 1 or 2 calls, 2 comments in this here. We might wait to it.
Yo. How you guys talking about? I'm just watching some YouTube.
One of our individuals that just leave a comment. We told you, we're talking about our black queens, where you probably came from. But yeah, here on the Humblest Opinion, we just, in our International Women's Day, we want to bring homage to our black queens, to our women that have, without them, there is no us. Without even their struggle and fight, there is no us. Today, we want to offer praise to all of our ancestors, all of our people that have worked and built and done some things in our, and it's far too nameless. It's far too numerous for us to name on this point. But any final thoughts on that? But Adagamba.
Yes, as I said, and as you have been saying, there are far too many for us to actually be able to highlight them all. We just need to
Right.
realize and know and understand that we've come from greatness. We are still great. We just have to wake up. That's the thing,
Right.
Okay, because you can be the world's greatest fighter, but if you never decide to throw a blow, we will never know. All right, so
Right.
we all need to wake up as a people, realize how great we are, all right, and allow our queens, help to teach our queens and educate our queens to be the queens that they are, so that they can help. Because as you said, only a true queen can raise a king.
Raise
All
the
right,
game.
so we need to wake these queens up so that they can help to bring forth the king.
Right. And my final thought on this is just simply, from looking at the history, we cannot offer any other else than thanks and appreciation. Most men, in that vein, speak of our women in a negative light, or might speak to diminish it, break them down. That's not our goal. That's not our goal here. That's never our goal. Our goal is to always, we need our queens. We're
Yes,
not
we do.
as strong as we can be without you, without our queen at our side, without our other half, which is why we believe in the marriage union, or the union of man and female, a male and female.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we accept nothing else. We accept nothing else because we
Nothing
can look
else.
at the history.
Nothing else.
We can look at the history. We anybody who's saying this, not to go on a tangent, but anybody who's believing this, we need the woman. The woman needs us. The maximization of our potential is together.
Exactly.
Together.
Ubuntu.
We accept nothing else. Right. Ubuntu. We accept nothing else. We have a few comments coming in. Hopefully we listen to them. Let's see what they got to say before we close.
Fuck you, niggas. I hate you.
Really?
Well,
Fuck
Selfie.
you.
hey, at the end of the day, hey, you can't be loved by everybody, my brother. You can't be loved by everybody. That's just not how the world works. And I'll say this, because I don't believe in censorship. Okay, like the social medias are doing now.
Right.
He has the right. He has the right to speak how we want to. Just as we have a humble opinion, that's his humble opinion.
And that's understandable.
I don't think I do. Only thing I can do is say, like, the white people, bless his heart.
Bless his heart.
And anyone who knows that that's not a compliment, but hey.
Hey, my brother, we hope that you come to the true realization of yourself. We hope that you just, maybe listen to the podcast and start defending us. Maybe grab a book, maybe read. For you to hate or be upset at the fact of us talking about black women, and that's a polarizing thing in itself nowadays, which is actually kind of sad.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of sad. We can talk about the greatness of everybody else, but we can't. That's perfect example of the people being upset at just the near fact of us mentioning the greatness of our black women. What could inspire you gentlemen to come on, people?
Misinformation and indoctrination. Because as long as you could kneel at the cross, all right, of someone who looks nothing like you, all right, a hue that could never have possibly been related to you, and say, "Please save me," then you're already lost, man. Okay, the misinformation and the indoctrination has them believing that when you speak about black love, it means that you hate everybody else, or that you are simple because you love yourself. They love themselves. Why can't we love ourselves?
And nothing is farther from the truth. See, again, we have to look at the factors of truth, of science. We can have an opinion. We're all entitled to it, like this gentleman, we are. However, the fact is, the oldest woman is a black woman. We ain't find none else other than this.
Exactly. So until there's
why are you mad at your history?
Yes.
Why are you mad at your history? Why would you just us talking about it? Come on, come on, people.
Hey, listen. Everybody is not gonna come. Every slave didn't want to be free, and now that we are slaves of a different kind, every slave still does not want to be free. So
understandable. Again, to end this on the positive note, we are queens. We accept nothing. We ascribe nothing. We believe nothing other than the positive upliftment of our people. We want to put things in our perspective here. We thank you, our ancestors and our queens and our modern day queens. Many of them unsung, for their positive exploits to help us and to build what is our society and our semblance of freedom and our advancements, which we are still going through. We cannot, there's no us without you, and we thank you for that.
We love you, queens. We love you.
We love you all, queens. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode for International Women's Day, which is our first in a 3-part series, at least a 3-part series on our black queens. I'm basically just noting and giving facts on some of it. We thank you. We thank you for taking the time out to listen to the Humblest Opinion. Everybody else have a great day, and thank you.
Namaste.
Let me go. See, there we go. I know destination, you never been there before. Oh, no reservation, come on, let's go and explore.